This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought.
Log on and join our live conversation.
Yes, I don't like that. You're 100% right.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Monday, August 26th. I'm here with Stephanie, Tori, Brandon. I am Sam. Let's get right to it. The President and First Lady were in France over the weekend for the G7 summit, where world leaders gather to address major global challenges. And we're breaking down some of the most talked about moments, like this one, when the President greeted Germany's Angela Merkel with a pair of kisses. Yep, there. Meantime, a lot of people were commenting on this picture of the First Lady going in for a kiss with the Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. Melania also joined some of the other wives on a wine tasting tour while in southwest France. And finally, the meeting wrapped up today, and I love this, with a commitment of $20 million to fight wildfires in the Amazon. The pledge came at a meeting on climate change that the president skipped out on. Tori, tell us about this. This is incredible. I love seeing all these world leaders come together, take the global climate change crisis, treat it like a crisis.
And treat it with the amount that we needed, exactly. So I thought it was just going to be Leonardo DiCaprio with $5 million.
There needs to be a lot more money than that.
Right, so, which is exciting. Now, I'm very disappointed the U.S. wasn't part of that meeting. I think there couldn't have been a more important meeting.
I agree.
What's interesting is they've all pledged about $20 million. They're going to send in aircraft. They're going to send in water. They're going to send in army people. The main thing that worries me is that the Brazilian president clapped back and said, I don't want you treating our country like a colony. Don't think you can just treat it like that. That's the wrong attitude. I want this guy gone. This guy is bad news for Brazil, bad news for South America. Finland is thinking of literally banning Brazilian beef completely from their country. Well, that's where we are now.
Honestly, Sam, though, just commenting on the piggybacking off that, the Brazilian president who wasn't at the summit, who was saying basically, I don't want your help. He was not interested, even though they have pledged $20 million. He actually sacked the head of a reporting agency that found out there was 88% more forest fires in the Amazon in one year. It's increased 88%. He fired them.
Wow, because the bottom dollar.
Because he doesn't want everyone to know.
Greed, but I don't care how rich or how greedy we are. You can't enjoy that wealth if you don't have a country to live on, or a globe to live on. All right, well, moving on, and please chime in, DBL Nation. We always love hearing what you have to say. GMA co-host Lara Spencer is coming under fire as we speak for comments she made on Friday mocking Prince George for continuing to take ballet classes, and this morning she apologized on the show. Watch.
I screwed up. I did. The comment I made about dance was insensitive, it was stupid, and I am deeply sorry. I've spoken with several members of the dance community over the past few days. I have listened. I have learned about the bravery it takes for a young boy to pursue a career in dance. And last night I sat down with 3 influential dancers who have lived it firsthand.
Well, in case you missed it, here are her original comments that sparked the controversy.
Prince William says George absolutely loves ballet. I have news for you, Prince William. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yikes. That is a listen, I don't think she meant any ill will. I don't think it was malicious. I just think these are ingrained stereotypes that are so ingrained in our society today that they do, you just say them, you don't realize how detrimental and painful those stereotypes are. But I'm so impressed with the pushback, because most of the pushback was really respectful. It was like, hey, this is wrong, you need to correct it. This is why you're reinforcing these gender stereotypes, these sexuality stereotypes, and it was wrong.
I wasn't a big fan of her her feeling the need where she had to go up there and apologize.
She did, though.
I think there are bigger things in life that we need to be apologizing for or have to go ahead. Sam, the other day when I said addiction wasn't a disease, which is scientifically backed, that made me look stupid. That made me have to come out and say, you know what?
But why don't you think this is dangerous? Think about first of all, we have a producer here and he said it was okay for me to speak about this story openly. He said he was a dancer, right? And he quit dancing ballet because he felt, oh my gosh, everyone's gonna think I'm gay. Like, he didn't want that, even though he is gay, he didn't want at a young age, he didn't want people discussing his sexuality. He didn't want people imagining his sexuality or telling him what his sexuality is based on the love of dance. There's a lot of straight dancers. There's a lot of gay dancers. You can't make stereotypes like that. It's dangerous.
Tori, growing up, I'm sure people told you, I'm sure you were a little shy to get into academia so much because people were going to say you were a nerd. So instead of coddling these children, I feel like this is a moment.
It's not your sexuality. That's different, though.
But it's the same. Any sort of bullying.
I think you're wrong on this one.
But I have a nephew. Hold on, y'all. I have a nephew that plays football. He loves to dance. I would never come out and tell him, hey, look, there he goes right there.
Awesome.
Carlton or
awesome.
I am his biggest fan when it comes to this. This isn't about coddling the kids. This is about getting these kids ready because you're going to be bullied. Someone is not going to like something about you.
I hear you, and I appreciate your point of view. And believe me, you just want to make sure that when an apology is given, number one, you want it to be sincere.
Sincere, absolutely.
And number two, you don't want people to feel like that they have to apologize for everything. I think in this position, she should have apologized. And I think it was sincere. I 1,000% think Lara is 1,000% sincere.
I do too. That is a family show, and you can't put those morals out there today in 2019. You simply can't. It's dangerous. So when Prince William wrote back and said, look, and I have a picture, my mother loved to dance, Princess Diana, and there's a picture of her dancing. And when you see that picture of her with Travolta, and you think that's her grandson, that you don't mock that, you explore it, you worship it, and you encourage it.
I think the difference here between what Brandon was showing with his little nephew dancing, that was more of like a kind of street dance versus ballet, and it's a specific genre in which men
ballet as well.
Well, it's a specific genre in which men are definitely stereotyped, and they shouldn't be, because I tell you what, they are extremely strong. They are athletic. It takes hours and hours of training.
So tell the kid that. Tell the kid that.
Yeah, but if people in a platform, I feel like, do have a responsibility, and I really give credit to GMA and Alara Spencer for owning up.
I agree.
None of us are going to be flawless, but all we can do is control how we handle those situations.
I agree with you.
For sure.
Job well done. Well, football fans were in for a big shock over the weekend. I can't wait to hear Brandon's thoughts on this. When Indianapolis Colts quarterback Andrew Luck announced he was retiring at the age of 29 due to his growing list of injuries. Watch.
This certainly isn't how I envisioned this or planned this, but I am going to retire. This is not an easy decision. I mean, it's been 4 years of this injury pain rehab cycle, and for me to move forward in my life the way I want to, it doesn't involve football.
Wow. And a lot of fans were upset. Some took to Twitter to share their opinions, including Fox Sports commentator Doug Gottlieb, who tweeted, retiring because rehabbing is too hard is the most millennial thing ever. And Troy Aikman has responded, tweeting, that's total bleep, Doug. What qualifies you to decide how someone should live their life? So now you're the authority on what motivates Andrew Luck, and if his decisions don't fit into what you think is best for him, then you rip him.
Wow.
Okay, so you are a former NFL football player. What is it about fans feeling like that they have ownership over you all?
You know, the biggest thing I've read over this past weekend is the fans saying that since we pay for the merchandise, we pay for the tickets, we essentially pay your salary. And for some reason, they think they own the athlete because of that. Now, when you pay to get into a game and to watch a game, you're paying to watch my talents. You're paying to watch my hard work. And in the case of Andrew Luck and a lot of other players out there, when the body cannot match the love of the game, you have to retire, or you're going to walk around as a vegetable for the rest of your life. And there's one thing, if your production goes down, who's the first person that's going to boo you? The fan.
I know.
Now
they're not protecting you.
They're not protecting you. Now when your quality of life goes down, where's the fan?
Yeah.
If I can't pick up my daughter, if I can't run around, throw a frisbee with my son, or do something like that because I'm aching and I'm ailing, and in his situation, torn cartilage in 2 ribs, partially torn abdomen, a lacerated kidney, at least 1 concussion, a torn labrum in his throwing shoulder. That's what he goes through on a daily basis.
What would you say to people who say he's weak, he's a millennial? Like, what would you say to them? Because that's exactly what I'm reading, and we even heard it from.
Shut up, Doug. Shut up, Doug. Shut up, Doug. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to put your body through hell every single Sunday, and in some cases, since you've been playing since you're a kid, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, going out there, constantly having to push through pain. And now you're at a point where you can't push through pain anymore. I can't be Andrew Luck on the football field anymore, but you know what? I can be Andrew Luck the person for the rest of my life, and I'm going to walk away just like he did.
Well
congrats,
said.
Andrew.
Yeah, congrats, Andrew, on the retirement.
You're not getting this seat on this show.
But you're welcome on the show anytime. We have to give a big DBL shout out, speaking of sports, to the Louisiana team. You guys, look at this, who with this play won it. Their finest, and then you see how motivated they are to continue on with their passion.
See, I don't feel like we have this as much in England. We don't have
What
the
do you
same
think
stuff.
about it?
I think it looks amazing. If that was my son or daughter, I'd be so proud.
As you should.
And what a moment of achievement, and it's something that's going to encourage them, like you said, to go follow their dreams.
Yep.
And that's what you need sometimes, just that momentum and encouragement.
There's like nothing more Americana than that shot.
Yeah.
The baseball.
It's so cool.
But we're looking at future and
MLB.
Future stars.
I know.
And
Lawyers,
the
agents.
scouts.
That's true.
'Cause sports
Absolutely.
breeds,
Yep.
you know.
Sports breeds perseverance, determination, goals, all of it. So DBL's Live coming up. Actor Gerard Butler tells us behind-the-scenes details on Daredevil stunts, including an intense scene with Morgan Freeman in his new movie, Angel Has Fallen. And you, the viewer, you guys are our fifth host. A mom's disciplinary methods are going viral after she posted online. But is this kind of public shaming of children okay? Your comments about that next.
Hi guys, Kelly Schubert here with the DBL digital team. I'm tracking all the breaking and trending news. Happy Monday. I think we're going to go to the desk and continue talking to Brandon about this because a lot of you were writing in. And I want to continue talking about this because I think we have a point of view, a unique point of view from Brandon. So yeah, let's keep talking about
comments, Brandon.
Yeah, and then I want to ask Brandon another question.
Michael Loveland says, Brandon speaking from the heart, how football players can tolerate a lot of the injuries are amazing. Get this quote from XOOX. They'll love you until you have nothing to give them. Isn't that beautiful? Agreed, Brandon, says Ellis Walker. Brandy Sprung, I feel bad for Andrew Luck. I'm glad he called it quits for his own body. Kimberly Matusek, my fiance actually drafted Luck on Saturday in the third round of his draft, and an hour later he announced the retirement. I laughed so hard. That's fantasy. I didn't realize that either. So go ahead and ask. I just thought a lot of love coming in.
First of all, Brandon, to hear your perspective, because I think people, especially with football, considering what you put your body through, I think just on a personal level, I want to hear from you, like, during football, pushing through the pain, of course, and then after pushing through the pain.
Pushing through the pain is, since we're gladiators, we're looked at, stereotyped as gladiators, people who can handle a large threshold of pain.
What are some of the things that you had to do, though, where you're like, I should not be playing right now?
I lied about my first concussion. I went back. I tried to get in there, and they were, our team trainers were like, no, you're not ready. I'm like, no, I feel fine. I feel fine. Run around for a bit. I feel dizzy, and I'm like, you know what? I got to push through this. I got to push through this because you're constantly looking over your shoulder.
Your love for football, as
guy.
you said, is sometimes or most of the time exceeds your body.
Exceeds the body, and you don't think about it at the time because a player like me, I'm trying to make the team.
Yeah.
Any rep I can get, I'm gonna go out there, and if I'm limping, heck, I'm limping.
Right.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make that.
Now,
catch.
what about after? And I see you like push through anything just here sitting on the panel. Like you are so determined. But what about on the physical now? Not mental, the physical.
On the physical, I can still feel the pain in my knee
And
from
how
my
long have
knee
you been
surgeries.
retired?
I've been retired for 4 years now. I've had 3 knee surgeries. The 2 concussions, there are times maybe I get a little lightheaded from time to time, but you're looking at it like
Respect
I'm
them,
glad
you
I
guys.
walked.
Enough
I'm glad
saying
I
that
walked
they're-
away.
Yeah,
I'm glad I walked away.
People need to respect when someone. Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host, when we talk about what you're talking about. A Florida mom is receiving national attention for disciplining her 6-year-old daughter and posting about it online. She searched 3 stores to buy her daughter the pencil case she asked for, but her first grader threw it away because other kids had it. The mom reacted by replacing the surprise gift with a Ziploc bag and made her daughter give it to a more deserving student, then posted the valuable lesson online. So DBL Nation, was this proper parenting, or is it too extreme in your opinion? Let's get right to your comments.
All right, Jennifer from Facebook says, good job, Mom. Great lesson to be learned. I kind of agree with this because she searched 3 different stores for this pencil box. And this little kid was highly ungrateful. So you give her the Ziploc
She's
bag. I'm okay
6.
with that. You give her the Ziploc bag. I'm okay with that. You make her give up the pretty princess pencil box.
I agree with that. What about the public shaming part?
I don't know about the public
That's where I'm
shaming part.
split.
I just think it went viral in like a family
Okay, I
thread or
commend
something.
her discipline, just not the public shaming.
Mary from Facebook says, parents should never shame their children online. I am not a parent, but I have to agree with Mary on this one. I think it's really bad for bullying. I think it's bad for self-esteem. I also don't think the child will grow up with trust, right? I trust my mom and my dad to keep things private between us, and I would never then share things with my mom and dad if it's going to go online. I think it's really tacky and bad form.
A pencil box?
Yeah, don't post that. It doesn't matter what it is. It's shame. Don't do that for a kid.
It's the principle.
It's the shame. Yeah, don't do that.
John from Facebook says, tough love works sometimes. Maybe this child will grow up with more respect whilst reflecting back on this internet post. I don't think the child is going to know about the internet post because it's 6, seeing the parents post. I don't think that's right. I think in this case, the parent is looking to try and validate herself by getting a lot of comments and likes online for her parenting.
Yep.
So really then who needs to learn the lesson? The parent or the child?
It's very
well said, Stephanie. Haley from Facebook says, the pic of her holding the pencil bag is priceless. She's going to be like, wow, when she's older. Listen, again, I think it's fantastic disciplining. I really do. I think this is a great moment to teach your child exactly what this child was lacking was respect, and then how appreciative she should be with that original pencil case. However, the public shaming, as Tori said, can't stand behind it.
No.
All right, Alex from Facebook says, my son is 5 years old. I make him throw his toys away when he's bad. There you go. Just don't make him throw away the Xbox. I look at it like this, y'all. It goes back to what Lara said. I think we're coddling these kids too much.
But
For it to be a 6-year-old kid, no kid in that class follows that mother. So how are they going to see
But can I ask you a really quick question? If it wasn't online, but she paraded that kid in front of the public, which is basically what she did, but on the internet, would you be okay with that?
In a way,
No.
yes.
No,
you won't throw away the next pencil box. I guarantee you that.
I think the discipline of putting it in a baggie and then making that child give away that original pencil box, which she asked the child to do, is enough of a punishment.
Y'all
in my
want to coddle
opinion.
these kids now?
I don't think
No,
that's
I don't want
coddling, because I don't want to coddle
publicly
my kid.
shame.
Trust me, I'm not about coddling my kid. I think that this is a line that was crossed. But thank you for writing in. We love hearing everything that you have to say. Taylor Swift has just put in place some new security measures. Interesting. Raquel, please deliver the news at the moment.
Well, Sam, Taylor Swift will now have security cameras pointed at every side of her, including her backside, every time she meets a fan. The singer tells The Guardian she wants to make sure she is never groped again. Swift was sued for defamation after a radio DJ was fired for reportedly putting his hand up her dress at a meet and greet. She countersued for sexual assault and won her case in 2017. Since then, Swift says she's been traumatized by the whole ordeal. She says it's something she wants to make sure it'll never happen again, and she'll have proof if it does from every angle.
Good for her.
Can't blame her.
Good for her. She won $1 on that, and it was all about the statement it made to other little girls.
Yeah.
I'm proud of her.
Yeah, and little boys too.
And you're absolutely right.
Yep.
I'm sorry about that. You're absolutely right.
Coming up on DBL, actor Gerard Butler tells me what it's really like doing all those scary stunts and faking an American accent when we come back.
Hey, so XOOX, I wanted to ask you, my mom yelled at me in public all the time. I still love her. Huh? Nay. My mom yelled at me. We would yell at each other in public, screaming. That is a cultural thing, I think, with Jewish people maybe. That in our family it certainly was. I'm not. But I don't think yelling is the same as publicly shaming, meaning if you think about what the internet is, she literally marched her daughter with a picture of her crying in front of hundreds and hundreds and now thousands of strangers. That's different than yelling in public. But I do see what you're saying. I got yelled at in public, trust me. I got yanked, trust me. But I do think this is only for the mom's benefit, as Stephanie actually brought up, in my opinion, but keep writing in. Lara, a lot of you supporting Lara Spencer, saying she didn't mean anything by it. Again, I don't think she did, but when you step in it, I don't care if you meant to or not, you stepped in it. You made people feel uncomfortable, you made people feel lousy, you made a whole industry upset. And if you don't know, Gene Kelly's wife has just spoken up. Gene Kelly, the famous dancer from Singing with the Rain, he had created a documentary called Dancing. It's a man's world, trying to get over that stereotype. And in fact, for her, she said and wrote a letter, ABC has got to do better, has got to do better. So not just a few people, but this went widely denounced. All right, let me know what you guys think. Oh, we got 20 seconds. Also, are we feeling the breakfast at Tiffany's, or are we feeling I'm a teacher who might not smile a lot?
Either.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Chatting with the Stars features Gerard Butler. Earlier, I sat down with him to talk about everything from a wild stunt to his very convincing American accent. First, check out a clip from his new movie, Angel Has Fallen.
Don't move, they're tracking us somehow. Just hold still and keep them covered first. I'm coming to you.
Jerry Butler, welcome to DBL. I'm so excited to talk with you about your new movie, Angel Has Fallen. You're back as the Secret Service agent for the third film in the series. Now, what I love about the film, of course, it is a fun action adventure, but it also highlights PTSD. So please tell us all about that.
There's some damaged minds in this movie, which is kind of what caused our plot to progress. But yeah, PTSD, my character has it. That adrenaline buzz that you get so often for these service members, having to come back and deal with reality, which is what Mike's situation is. I think it deals in a very clever, sophisticated way that makes the journey all the more exciting because Mike's really struggling to get through, and also all the more interesting and emotional and powerful.
Yeah, it's nuanced. So amen, kudos to you. And I know you've done a ton of dangerous stunts in your career. The surfing accident in Chasing Mavericks comes to mind. And this film is no exception. Tell me about the stunt you did with Morgan Freeman that involved water also. I heard it was pretty intense.
Yeah, because you feel a big responsibility. You have Morgan Freeman in the water. It's deep. You can drown. And I have to push him down, and we have to do it many times. I have to push him down as deep and for as long as I could without drowning him. So there's some responsibility in that. But and he's not a fan of the water, let me tell you.
Oh, no. Now, you stay in really good shape for all the action roles you play, but your physique in 300 was on another level. Has anything else ever compared to the physical and the mental training required for that movie?
I've put in a lot of training for a lot of different movies, but 300 was another level for me. I was training 6 hours a day. My whole thing in that movie was I want to train so hard that I don't feel like an actor standing in front of the stuntmen, but I actually have their respect. And when I stand there going, oh, you know, how, that they're like, yeah, I'd follow him. He's nuts.
That's amazing. I love your Scottish accent, but what is it like transitioning to an American accent so often for movies? You do it seamlessly. Can you do it right now on the fly?
I don't know.
I do have a really cute dress on today. Tell me I look lovely today in American.
Hey, Sam, you look lovely today.
Thank you.
Tell you that.
Oh my gosh, I'm blushing over here.
Beautiful.
Well, your new movie, Angel Has Fallen, is in theaters right now. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it.
Ooh, I'm blushing. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration.
Hey, welcome back to Beauty Blast, guys. Thanks for joining me, and if you didn't know, I'm Jeray for the Slay, and today we're talking about some of the new beauty trends that are coming. Now, I had to use my sidekick powers and go ahead and look into the future a little bit to see what's going on with the beauty world. We've seen a lot happen in the last couple of years, from big bushy brows to these crazy highlights on the face and everything in between. But I feel like we're actually rolling back into some great eras with what's going on in the near future for fall beauty trends. Now, for our 2019 fall beauty trends, I'm seeing monochromatic looks everywhere. Now, these are great because you're using something like a lipstick that you're wearing. Think of a red lipstick, and you're taking that same color and applying it to your cheeks, and maybe even to the high temples of your cheekbones as well. And then sometimes, like we did with Lex a couple weeks ago, go back and look at that video, even using it on the eyes. Now, I'm seeing this pop up more and more on fashion walkways, so I'm thinking it's gonna catch on into fall as well. Now, another look that I see coming on up is graphic liner. Yes, I'm here for this look so much. Remember the 60s, very like Kennedy-esque, those big wing liners, or sometimes more of like that liner that just is etched out on the eye, and more design looks overall in general. These are great for really making sure that you're making a look that is saying, you're making a look that says something, okay? You can really step out into these looks, which I'm here for. Take any type of liquid liner. My personal favorite is actually Maybelline 24-Hour Precision Studio Liner. It's thebomb.com and it's cheap, honey, so you never have to worry about it just going out on you, okay? Now, for more fall beauty trends, let's talk about some more actually next week, and you can check part 2 out for our next video. Go ahead and make sure that you're following at Jure for the Slay and Daily Blast Live for more beauty blasts, and we'll see you guys next time.
So I'm Jeff Schroeder, and we're all going to be learning a new word today. So I'm just randomly going to pick something out of a dictionary that's already been preset, and I'm going to give you my take on what I think it is. So let's get our first word. Chlorofluorocarbon. This is definitely on the table of elements, and you inhale this, whether in a gas or pill form, and it makes you run super fast. Chlorofluorocarbon. I didn't get that right at all, did I?
Welcome back. Today we are celebrating a big milestone at DBL. Entering our 100th week of shows. We want to thank our viewers for tuning in every day. And when you hear that number, so it's not 100 episodes. No. It's 100 week of shows, and we do like 6 shows a day. So that's insane.
Me and Stephanie, we've only been on for about, what, 50-something weeks now. So how does this feel for you guys to audition together, and now you're in the 100th week?
I don't know. It's really crazy for me because I was scooping ice cream, as we all famously know. And now when I'm getting my hair and makeup done, every time we have to swipe our card, I always say to myself, or I try, I'm not doing well, but I try to say, I'm so grateful to be here.
I want to just underscore, though, because you always say I was scooping ice cream. I think people need to realize that you had 10 years worth of struggle and hustle as a TV host, as an improv actor, as a comedian. It doesn't happen overnight.
It does.
It was 10 years of hustle. She didn't go from ice cream scooper to host. It doesn't work that way.
Absolutely right.
Bye, guys.
That was lovely, Sam. Thank you, Sam.